Hi there, welcome to the farm. Today we're starting the Three Rivers Pantry Challenge. For those of you who might not be familiar with the Three Rivers Pantry Challenge, I guess she's done this for several years. It's one of the YouTube channels, and she puts a challenge out to people to go for a month without buying groceries, using all the stuff in your pantry, root cellar, freezers. But people can adjust it according to what they're able to do. And we're going to have to make a few adjustments. And if you've never seen us, we're Dawn and Brenda Werdenberg, and we have a 42-acre farm, Werdenberg Family Farm. And we do grow most of our own food, and we preserve it between freezing, canning, freeze-drying, all different ways. And we do use out of our pantry a good amount, but we're going to make a concerted effort not to buy anything else besides the things we can't provide ourselves. Number one is dairy. We don't have any milk cows, so we are going to have to buy dairy. Number two, it's January, so we're probably going to have to buy some fresh produce and fresh fruit. But other than that, our meals are all going to consist of things from our pantry, our freezers, our freeze-dried things. So
don't forget the root cellar and the larder.
The root cellar, the larder. We do have a lot of food, so we should have no problem doing this, just we've never tried it. And we're actually doing it because several of our viewers recommended that we try to do this. And I had seen it in passing and never really paid much attention to it on YouTube. But it is a good idea to make that effort and to really use up what you have. You know, it saves money, and it does make sure you use the food you preserve.
And for us, it's not a stretch because that's primarily what we do. It's wintertime.
Yeah.
We eat from our larder.
But we do tend to, if we don't feel like cooking, we'll go out and get something, or, you know, sometimes we take some shortcuts. So for the next couple of weeks at least, we'll try it as long as we can. It's right now, the 10th of January, and we're going to see how long we can go. Some people do it for a month, some people do it for 2 months, some people do it for 3. Since this is an experiment, we've never done it before, we'll see how long we can go for. But I'll show you what I'm making today and maybe a few other meals we make the first week. And then as we go forward, I'll show you what I've made for the week, some of the highlight meals, and maybe if there's some interesting ones, show you some creative ways I used up some of our food. So join us as we begin this experiment. I don't know, it'll be fun. I mean, I have a menu planned out. We'll see if it works. So we're going to show you some of the meals we do as we go through this month, or however long we do it. And the very first one is just a barbecued pot roast from our wonderful, delicious beef.
That chuck roast smells awesome, by the way.
I'm already hungry for dinner, and it's only 9 o'clock. And all you do, this is a very easy recipe. I just seared it on both sides. And then I had some barbecue sauce I made and had it in the freezer. And it's just a matter of dumping the barbecue sauce on and running the crock pot all day. And it'll come out tender, juicy, and barbecuey. Yeah. So that's an easy way to start.
You know, well, you're saying you're starting, but this is what we do in January anyway. Now, so last night we had, what was it, barbecue chicken soup.
Yes, that's a wonderful soup. I actually did a video about that, and it's easy to make, but I love it.
And then we had a pot roast.
Oh yeah, beef stew. That was canned.
That was canned.
So yeah, we do this mostly in the winter, but not to this degree, I don't think. So we're going to see how it goes. But the roast will be in the crock pot all day long, and I'm going to do something with some potatoes from the root cellar. So come on down to the root cellar with me. I'm going to get some potatoes, and I have a little bit of maintenance to do down there. Okay, first I'm going to get some taters. See if any of these, some of the red ones are still starting to get soft. So we use some red ones. Oh, let's use 6 of them. Okay, so that's that. And while I'm down here, some of the taters are starting to sprout. And if they sprout, they do start getting soft. So I just need to sit and break off all the sprouts. It'll just make them last longer. It's cold enough down here now.
Yeah, it's 46 degrees.
So just a lot of taking sprouts off potatoes.
Yeah. I was curious to see the first winter with all the whitewash that we put on, to see if any of it would be damaged with the cold or moisture.
I think everything's holding up really well.
Yeah.
It looks amazing. We don't have all that many potatoes left. I hope to get more potatoes next year.
Well, you have bins down there, right?
Yeah, it's got some in. A few more red ones down here. We've used a lot between the ones we turned into potatoes.
What's the one over to your right?
There are more potatoes.
Okay.
These are both, the white ones are, I think, I forget what kind they are. A good baking potato.
And then you have apples over there,
Yeah,
right?
I just need to look through those, make sure none of them are getting rotten.
Okay. Here, let's look at these in there. Yeah, they look nice.
Yeah, they're pretty good, and they're hard. I mean, they're still
Yeah.
firm as can be. The red ones don't seem to hold up as well.
Okay.
But apples, just check see if there's any bad spots. Because if one starts going bad,
Yeah.
one bad apple can spoil the whole bunch.
Yeah.
Like, look there.
Oh, yeah.
See, I mean, I try to put ones down here that are not bruised, not damaged in any way, but sometimes you don't see little marks and then they turn into rot. The rest look pretty good.
Okay.
But I think one of the things we'll be doing in the next couple weeks is some apple crisps. We need to do some apple desserts because we do need to use these up then.
Well, you said earlier we need to get fresh produce, but this is still
Well, we
kinda
still have
just-
fresh apples, yeah.
Yeah.
And we do have freeze-dried peaches,
Well-
strawberries.
And out in the high tunnel, you also have fresh spinach, right?
Yes, we do. And we're going to be definitely using some spinach. That's one of the meals I put in was a chicken that's stuffed with spinach and cheese. Oh, it's amazing. Now, one thing I want to do while I'm down here, I still have beets down here from 2023.
Oh, wow.
So they've lasted over a year. And they're still completely hard. But I don't want to push my luck. So I'm going to actually take the ones we haven't used, and I think I'm going to freeze dry them and turn them into a powder. So that's one thing I want to get out of here today. We're done with beets for this. And that's one thing I did not do as well this year in the garden. I didn't do enough beets and carrots
Yeah.
to store for this coming year.
Because
So
you ate all the carrots already, right?
we ate all the carrots. That's why I
Yeah.
need to go through these boxes of sand and just clean it out and get it ready for next year's carrots. So now I just have to find all the beets in here. It's like a treasure hunt.
So the humidity is like 95, almost 100%, and 48 degrees. So with the sand being cold and damp,
It's just like they're in the ground.
yeah. So they're just kind of dormant in the ground.
Now there's one that got started to rot a little bit, so he won't be good. But I
Okay.
mean, most of them are completely fine. So the root cellar, I mean, they knew what they were doing in the 1800s.
Yeah.
I didn't know they would last that long. Not in my wildest imagination. I think I got enough beets to freeze dry and turn it into some powder. Oh, there's one too.
So, okay, so it's powder. Then what do you do with it once it's powder?
You can mix it into smoothies. You can mix it into, like if you have little kids, you can put it in pancakes. And you have
Oh,
pink
so you're
pancakes.
sneaking it in for,
It's ways to get nutrition into things, but it's ideal for smoothies.
okay.
Get some nutrition in there and it turns it into a nice pretty pink smoothie. My daughter-in-law uses a lot of it. And I'll use some too. But I just know I got to do something. I think I got all mine out of that box. Yeah, I don't really know how many are left. Oh, there's a big one. Look, he's still perfectly
Well,
fine.
here, let's look at that close.
Covered in sand.
Yeah.
So I'll have to get the sand off, peel them, and then freeze dry them. Oh, look at that big one. Holy cow. Wow. I mean, they're beautiful.
Yeah.
All right, it's going to be time to peel some beets and get them in the freeze dryer. And figure out what kind of potato thing I'm going to make for dinner. I know I want to make something with potatoes. I don't know quite what yet. Haven't figured that out.
It's nice and bright down here, isn't it?
Another big one. I think that's it for that.
So I guess in days gone by, they would have just come down here with a candle or a kerosene lantern.
I don't know how they would see what they're doing.
Yeah. Okay, friends, we're continuing on with the Pantry Challenge. It's Sunday, early Sunday afternoon after church, and we're going to put together this meal. Actually, I'm going to put together this meal. Brenda said it was very easy to do, and I said, is it easy enough that I could do it? She said, absolutely. So, what we have is a bacon, pineapple, barbecue chicken dish, and we have a little bit of mozzarella that's going to go over top. So I'm going to start off now with the bacon, and I'm simply going to cut it up into small pieces, and I'm going to fry it up first here in the pan before we mix the rest of the ingredients together. So Brenda, we've had this quite a few times, haven't we?
Yeah, this is one of our granddaughter Chloe's favorite things. She loves this, and so do I. Yeah. She and I both love pineapple.
So this is the real test of how easy a dish is. If Pop-Up can make it in the kitchen, then everybody can make it. So let's see how many mistakes I make along the way.
Pop-Up's pretty good in the kitchen. He's excellent on the grill.
Yeah, I'm more comfortable in the grill area like a lot of men, but this seems like it's something that's manageable.
Well, it is, and it's something like it's right after church. You can throw it together real quick and get it in the pan. It bakes in half an hour, and lunch is ready, you know?
You know what the whole saving the grace of the pantry, which we primarily do every winter anyway, is that you get to prepare these terrific meals in the evening, and then the next day you have awesome lunches leftovers. So
we love leftovers. So every meal we make, we get 2 or 3 meals out of it because it's just the 2 of us.
Yeah.
I'm imagining it would be very different if you have like 10 kids. I think Three Rivers has 10 kids. You'd be making a meal and it would be gone in a meal. Ours lasts for like 2 or 3, so we've got it easy.
Yeah. A family of 4 growing up, and there were no leftovers. It's kind of like when somebody made cookies that day. They never made it to the cookie box. They were gone before the end of the day.
I believe it.
Okay, so let's go ahead and fry up the bacon, and we'll be on our way. All right, we got the bacon frying here. Now I'm just going to cut the chicken breasts and lay them in the pan. And this is really very simple. Basically, it's just a layered with the chicken breast laid in the pan. And it's much easier. You could do this by putting the whole chicken breast in the pan, but it's a lot easier to serve and to eat if you cut the breasts into strips beforehand.
And I did spray the pan with olive oil just to make sure nothing sticks.
Too bad we can't grow olives, huh?
That would be pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Not in our climate.
No. All right, we'll come back once they're all laid in there, and we'll start the layering process. Okay, I sliced up the chicken breast. We have good coverage across the, what's that, by 9 by 13
I don't think
pan?
it's quite 9 by 13, a little smaller.
And then we're going to just put some barbecue sauce over it. Now, Brenda, you made your own barbecue sauce. Why aren't we using that from your larder?
Well, I had this in the refrigerator, and I want to use it up. Since this is the Pantry Challenge, I want to use it up and get it out of there. And then we'll be using all our homemade stuff. I'm not sure why we bought this. Somehow
this recipe's so simple, I was like, are you sure we don't put any salt or pepper or any spices on there? And it does make sense because the bacon provides all the salt, and then there's other spices in here. So
and a lot of this is subjective. Yeah. You can put on as much barbecue sauce or as little as you want. I'll write the recipe below, but it's basically personal preference on how much pineapple you want. I tend to use more pineapple than the recipe calls for.
Is that coverage okay, or would you put more on than that?
It's up to you.
All right, I'm going to put a little more.
My thought is, how much is left in the container? Can I get the container out of the fridge?
Yeah. All right.
Wait, we're going to have one more barbecue.
So next, then we just...
No, wait, next is the bacon.
Oh, that's right.
You got to finish cooking the bacon.
Almost jumped the gun.
Aha.
Okay, I drained the bacon. It looks ready to go, and you can do this the amount per your taste. It calls for what? 6?
It calls for 6 slices of bacon. We did 12, so it just depends how bacony you want it.
How bacony?
Yeah. Whatever you don't use, we can cook up in some eggs tomorrow.
Okay. I'm sure there's a better way to do that, but...
Just sprinkle it on.
All right.
And pineapple, it calls for 1 cup, but I definitely want more than 1 cup.
We drained this.
I drained it pretty good. Some pineapple juice comes out, that's okay. It'll mix in with the barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can make it pretty heavy on pineapple as far as I'm
I
concerned.
know, you love pineapple.
Anybody who doesn't like pineapple can just push it to the side. Oh, a little more.
A little more?
That's good, I guess.
Okay. Okay.
And then mozzarella cheese over the top.
And you have this measured out?
No, I just put out what I thought I wanted.
Okay.
I'll have the recipe below.
And we cover
it probably
it.
calls for a cup, but I probably have more mozzarella than I need too. A lot of recipes are really subjective to your tastes.
Yeah. Well, I might just use it all here.
Go for it.
I don't know if I have good coverage or not,
I
but
think
it'll
it's
get spread around.
perfect.
So, well, that's about the easiest thing that I've cooked outside of working on the grill.
Yeah.
So while this is part of the Pantry Challenge, this is also a great thing. Men, if you have a date coming over and you want to cook dinner, this is about as easy as it gets. And then have an important date coming up in February. If you want to make dinner for your significant other, your spouse, this would be a very impressive way to do it. And you show that you love bacon and cheese. How can you go wrong? And with the beautiful chicken in there and the pineapple, it's a win for everybody.
It's unusual, but it's delicious.
Yeah.
So now you just stick it in the oven and bake it 375 for about a half an hour. I'll just kind of watch it and look when I think the chicken's done.
So we're preheated?
Yep, it's preheated, ready to go.
Okay.
In 30 minutes, we'll have dinner. I have some potato rolls that are starting to get stale, and my granddaughter's here and she likes garlic bread. So I'm going to turn some of the potato rolls into garlic bread. And that's just a matter of softening or melting some butter, putting some garlic powder in it, put it over the bread, and melt some cheese on top, and you have delicious, cheesy garlic bread.
Now, is there an advantage of doing it this way versus just putting a hot pan, and frying them that way?
What, the garlic bread?
Yeah.
This is easy. I'm just going to stick it in the broiler. After the chicken's done, I'll just put it on the broiler and broil them real quick.
Okay.
So it's just quick and easy. We love cheese. So lots of cheese. Cheesy garlic bread. I think it'll be a nice addition to lunch. We're having some green beans from the larder too. Missy likes green beans, so I got a jar of green beans up. So I'll put that in as soon as the chicken's done. Well, we're done with the first week of the Pantry Challenge. I think we did pretty well.
Yeah, it was actually pretty fun, wasn't it? We had great food.
We sure did. That beef that we made the first day went for 4 meals. So that was
Well, that's
good.
generally true with all of your canned and the other meals. You get at least one good leftover, sometimes 2.
Yeah, or sometimes with the beef it was 3.
Yeah.
So we actually just today had the 3rd serving of the chicken, bacon, pineapple dish. That was good. And then for dinner, we went out to the tunnel and picked fresh spinach and had a fresh spinach salad.
So that was excellent.
That's one thing we're still able to pick fresh and eat, and
Yeah.
that was wonderful.
Yeah. Hey, we're trying something new, aren't we?
Yeah.
Something we've never done before and something that our viewers have challenged us on.
We are going to do a live stream this Sunday night at 7 p.m.
So GMT, for our friends around the world, the GMT time is 12 o'clock a.m. So we don't expect our friends in Europe to be up at midnight, but those of you in New Zealand and Australia and others, you can see us live.
Yeah, and if you have questions you want us to answer, you can ask us after this video, and we'll answer it that night. And during the live stream that night, if you have questions, put them on there, and we'll try to answer them too, once we're able to. So we'll see how we do. This will be a first time. I think we have the technology figured out, but we'll see. So hopefully we'll see you Sunday night at the live stream, 7 p.m. If not, we'll see you next Thursday at our video, and we'll show you what we did for the Pantry Challenge this coming week. So either way, we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.